He can build a character on a computer, but can he sculpt one out of clay? On today's episode of the Treehouse, we'll be testing Hudson Winters' sculpting skills. Stay tuned.
I'm Adam Widener, and this is the Treehouse.
Hello, and welcome to the Treehouse, the show where we get messy, make mistakes, and make people do awkward things in public. I'm your host, Hudson Winters. Joining us today is none other than former animation major and my super awesome roommate, Hudson Winters. Thanks for being on the show today, Hudson.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
I have no clue what I'm doing.
Hey, neither do I, so it's all good. No, I'm kidding. Before we have a chance to learn more about Hudson, let's go over today's craft. As you can see on the table, we have an assortment of colored clay, wire, and a foam board. Today we'll be creating characters and sculpting them from scratch. At the end of our show, our judge will determine which one looks best. You ready?
I hope so.
Let's do it. All right.
Okay.
So I know that you're currently an animation major. What made you want to get into that?
Yeah, so, kind of growing up, my dad actually was an artist, and, well, he still is. But he just kind of, was like the art influence in my life, and so that kind of got me into art. And, as I kind of got older and stuff, like, I would, just start getting more and more of like a refined taste for what art field I wanted to go into and stuff like that. And, and so over time, it just kind of developed into like, hey, this animation thing's kind of cool. What if I do that? And so I decided to do that. And so, yeah, that's kind of what led me into animation and stuff. And,
That's cool.
And of course, too, like also all the films and stuff that I had growing up as well.
Yeah. And speaking of films that you watched growing up, what were some of like your favorites that like you grew up watching?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, like as a really young kid, of course, it was like stuff like Cars and stuff too. Yeah, this is very difficult.
Sketchy. That's okay.
Yeah, so it was probably a lot of Disney films and stuff when I was younger, but as I got older and stuff, it kind of also became more of like a visual thing as well, too, where it's like like this is something that is like actually an art form, it doesn't just have to be only entertainment or stuff, it's like it can actually be, a way to express oneself, and so that's kind of what eventually got me into, kind of craving a lot of that stuff. So, even though things like maybe the Lego Movie or Spider-Verse might be like considered kids' films to some people, I also look at it from like a visual aspect, and like, oh, that's cool. That's something I can do.
Yeah.
So.
So is that kind of like what made you decide that you wanted to do it like as a profession? It was like all the films that you watched?
Yeah, honestly, I think that was probably the biggest push. That and also, the kind of like the idea of I had some stories that, I want to tell as well, and animation just kind of seemed like the logical point of, like, hey, this is kind of the end goal here of what I want to do, and where I want to go with things, and that could be something that I use to kind of express the stories that I think are kind of neat and want to share with the world. So
right, that's cool. Kind of around like HU's campus, I know that there's been a few people that have been quite a few people that have been pushing to have a lot more collaboration between animation and the animation and film departments. Has there been like some projects or stuff that you've seen that happening with?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're kind of working on right now, both you and I, are is the the Suicide Squad scene recreation, where part of what we're doing is obviously the film part of it is the whole actually getting on the set, getting all the stuff together, and the things that you guys are much more knowledgeable about than me. But then it kind of also goes into the animation side, because we are the team that's like doing the CG for King Shark. So we're actually going to be working on that and getting that together, and hopefully we do a good job on that.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an undertaking, but
Yeah,
I think we'll be able to pull it off.
Definitely something that'll take a little bit of work and learning on our part, but it's kind of why you go to college. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any what are some of the like animations that you've done that you're like super proud of?
Yeah, some of the things I've done are I think a lot of motion graphics stuff. I feel like that's something that I'm pretty I feel like I'm pretty decent at least with my current skill set. I think that's something that I think I kind of excel at a lot with kind of our current medium and stuff.
Yeah.
But so a lot of that is kind of based around that, but also some of the projects we did in traditional were definitely a lot of a lot of time that went into it, and I think the end product kind of shows that.
For sure. Well, so it looks like we're actually out of time for our our little clay project here. So after the break, our floor director, Andrew Martin, will be judging our sculptures. Last week on the Treehouse, Hadley Mertz lost the craft challenge, but due to unfortunate circumstances, we have Callie McEwen taking her place for the punishment. For the punishment, she had to go around campus and ask people to marry her. Check it out.
What's up, guys? I'm Callie. On my episode with Hadley, I won the challenge, but Hadley is sadly sick today. So I'm going to be picking up her slack, and I'm going to find a new love and propose to some people today. Brooke, will you marry me? Yes. That's a yes.
Yes.
We've known each other for a mere minute. However, I could not be more for anything else. I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
No. I'm in love with another. Grace Earl.
Jerry, would you marry me?
Welcome back to the Treehouse. Our floor director, Andrew Martin, will now be coming out to judge our creations. Come on out, Andrew! Woo!
Go
Yeah.
crazy.
So
yeah, show me what you got here.
here's mine.
Yeah.
I kind of went for like I don't know. I just kind of started making something.
Yeah.
And got the whole like skinny body going on there, kind of like a stick figure.
Yeah,
kind of what I'm going for. Kind of going for the stick figure vibes. You know?
Cal Arts,
Yeah.
design right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
What do you have, Hudson?
This is Todd.
That's something. I'll give you that.
Let's see if we can, that's Todd.
It's beautiful. All right. Well.
Say hi, Todd. He's a little stiff.
Break his body. All right. So seeing all these, I think I am gonna have to go with Justin. So he just has more of a body. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say?
Just got that body.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, looks like I won, which is kind of cool. Hudson, you lost. So sorry about that. As a punishment for today's episode, you will have to pretend that you accidentally deleted your final 3D project that you've been working on all semester, and we get to watch the chaos that happens afterward. So it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Hudson, for joining us today. Tune in next time to see Hudson complete the punishment and to see another episode of the Treehouse. Bye.